What happens when you start eating peanut butter every day? The shocking impacts might surprise you. Peanut butter isn't just a tasty snack. It's a nutritious powerhouse sitting in almost every pantry made from roasted peanuts and a pinch of salt. It's packed with heart-healthy fats, protein, and vitamin E. Vegetarians, athletes, and anyone looking to stay strong often rely on it as a simple, affordable source of energy. But here's the part most people don't know. After 25 years in medicine, I've seen firsthand that regularly eating peanut butter can do more for your heart, brain, and overall energy than many people expect. In fact, there's one effect on your heart that even surprised researchers at Harvard. I'm Dr. Michael Reed, and today I'm going to reveal why this simple food might actually be one of the easiest ways to boost your health and why your doctor might want you eating more of it. Stay tuned because what you learn here could completely change how you snack forever. Let's start with something most people completely overlook. When you open that jar of peanut butter, you're not just getting protein and fat. You're getting a concentrated dose of minerals your body is probably begging for. Think about copper. Most people have never even thought about copper in their diet. But your body needs it to build strong, connective tissue and keep your blood vessels healthy. Peanut butter delivers it naturally. Then there's phosphorus, critical for bone strength as you age, and manganese, which helps your body process cholesterol and carbohydrates efficiently. But here's where it gets interesting for anyone worried about energy levels. Peanut butter contains something called niacin. Now, I know that sounds technical, but niacin is basically fuel for your cells. It helps convert the food you eat into actual energy your body can use. Without enough of it, you feel tired, foggy, mentally drained. Just 2 tablespoons gives you a solid boost of this nutrient. And there's more. Thiamine, another B vitamin that keeps your nerves functioning properly and your muscles strong. Here's something that matters, especially if you've been feeling worn down. Are you getting enough iron? Most people over 50 aren't. Iron carries oxygen through your bloodstream. Without it, you feel exhausted, short of breath, like you're moving through mud. 1 tablespoon of peanut butter gives you about 5% of what you need daily. It's not going to solve severe anemia, but it's a natural, steady source your body can actually use. And that's just the beginning. Because the protein inside peanut butter, that's where things get really powerful. Here's what I see all the time in my practice. People over 45 start losing muscle mass. They don't feel as strong. Stairs get harder. Getting up from a chair takes more effort. And most of them have no idea it's connected to what they're eating. Your body needs protein to maintain muscle, not just to build it, to keep what you already have. And as you age, that need actually goes up. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter gives you about 7 grams of complete protein. Now, what does complete mean? It means you're getting all the amino acids your body can't make on its own. Think of amino acids like building blocks. Your body uses them to repair tissue, build new cells, recover from stress and exercise. Without enough protein, your body starts breaking down your own muscle for fuel. And here's something that really stood out to me. Researchers at the University of Toronto found something fascinating. They tracked people who ate peanut butter regularly versus those who didn't. The peanut butter group, they increased their muscle mass by 4% over the study period. The others didn't. Now, that might not sound huge, but when you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, maintaining muscle isn't just about strength. It's about balance. It's about staying independent. It's about not ending up in a hospital after a fall. If you're still with me, it means you're paying attention. And that tells me you care about staying strong. Good. Because what I'm about to show you next, it might change how you think about fat completely. Most people were taught that eating fat makes you gain weight and clogs your arteries, but that's not the whole story. Let me be straight with you. For decades, we were told to avoid fat. Low fat everything. Fat-free labels plastered on every product. And you know what happened? Heart disease rates kept climbing. Because here's the truth. Not all fat is the same. And the fat in peanut butter, it's actually the kind your heart needs. About 50% of the fat in peanut butter is unsaturated. That's the type that helps lower bad cholesterol and supports healthy arteries. Your body doesn't just tolerate this fat. It uses it to protect you. Now let's talk numbers for a second. If you're eating around 2,000 calories a day, you should be getting about 65 to 100 grams of fat total. But where that fat comes from matters more than the amount. Unsaturated fats from sources like peanuts help keep your cell membranes flexible. They reduce inflammation. They even help your body absorb vitamins like A, D, E, and K, nutrients you can't process without fat. Here's what worries me though. Some brands sneak in hydrogenated oils. These are fats that have been chemically altered to stay solid at room temperature. They keep the oil from separating in the jar, makes it look smooth and creamy, but inside your body they raise bad cholesterol and increase your risk of heart attack and stroke. So, when you're buying peanut butter, flip that jar around, read the ingredients. The best ones have two things on the label: peanuts and salt. That's it. Are you checking labels when you shop? Most people don't, but this one habit could add years to your life. And speaking of protection, there's something happening at the cellular level that most people never even think about. Every single day, your body is under attack. Not from anything you can see, from free radicals. These are unstable molecules that damage your cells, speed up aging, and increase your risk of everything from heart disease to cancer. You can't avoid them completely. They're created when your body breaks down food, when you're exposed to pollution, even when you're just breathing. But here's the good news. Your body has a defense system, and peanut butter helps fuel it. Peanut butter contains powerful antioxidants like resveratrol and quercetin. You've probably heard of resveratrol. It's the same compound in red wine that gets all the attention. It fights inflammation and protects your blood vessels. Quercetin works differently. It helps stabilize cells and reduce oxidative stress, the kind of damage that leads to chronic disease over time. Now, here's something critical. Not all peanut butter gives you these benefits equally. Remember those hydrogenated oils I mentioned? If your peanut butter contains them, you're actually working against yourself. You're getting antioxidants with one hand and inflammatory fats with the other. That's why I keep saying, read the label. Choose natural. Choose simple. If you can't pronounce half the ingredients, put it back on the shelf. Still with me? Good. Because what I'm about to tell you next might surprise you, especially if you've been told to avoid peanut butter because of carbs. The truth about carbohydrates and peanut butter isn't what most people think. If you've been watching your blood sugar or if your doctors mention prediabetes, listen closely. Because peanut butter does something most carb-heavy snacks can't do. 2 tablespoons contain about 10 grams of total carbohydrates. But here's the key. 5 of those grams are fiber. And fiber doesn't spike your blood sugar. It actually slows everything down. What does that mean in real terms? It means when you eat peanut butter, your blood sugar rises slowly and steadily instead of spiking and crashing. No sudden energy surge followed by that awful sluggish feeling an hour later. And for people with diabetes, this matters even more. Research shows that the protein and fat in peanut butter help slow digestion. Your body takes longer to break down the food, which means glucose enters your bloodstream gradually. That's exactly what you want. But even if you don't have diabetes, this benefit still protects you. Every time your blood sugar spikes and crashes, it stresses your pancreas. Over time, that stress can lead to insulin resistance, the beginning of type 2 diabetes. Eating foods that keep your blood sugar stable isn't just about avoiding diabetes. It's about protecting your energy, your mood, your brain function, and your long-term health. Now, here's where people get confused. They think, if it's good for blood sugar, does that mean it helps with weight? And the answer, it's more interesting than you'd expect. Let me clear something up right now. Peanut butter is calorie-dense. 2 tablespoons pack about 190 calories. So how could it possibly help with weight loss? Here's what the research shows and what I've seen with my own patients. When you eat peanut butter in moderation, it keeps you satisfied longer. You're less likely to reach for chips an hour later. You're not constantly thinking about your next meal. That's the power of monounsaturated fats and protein working together. They signal your brain that you're full. They slow down digestion. They give your body sustained energy without the crash. And then there's the fiber. 5 grams of fiber per serving might not sound like much, but it adds up. Fiber fills you up, helps regulate digestion, and keeps your gut healthy. When you feel full, you naturally eat less throughout the day. There's even a study from the Journal of the American Dietetic Association that found something surprising. People who ate peanut butter before bed actually consumed fewer calories the next day. Their bodies stayed satisfied longer. But here's the catch, and this is important. You can't just add peanut butter on top of everything you're already eating and expect to lose weight. It's about replacing less nutritious snacks with something that actually fuels your body. Are you using food as fuel or just filling a craving? That question matters more than people realize. Now, let's talk about something everyone over 45 worries about: energy. Because this is where peanut butter really shines. How many times have you hit that afternoon wall? You know what I'm talking about. It's 2 p.m. and suddenly you can barely keep your eyes open. You're dragging. Your brain feels foggy. You just want to lie down. That crash, it's usually tied to what you ate earlier or didn't eat. Fast digesting carbs spike your blood sugar, then drop it hard. And when it drops, your energy goes with it. Peanut butter works differently. The combination of protein, fat, and fiber gives your body steady fuel that lasts for hours. No spike, no crash, just consistent energy. But there's something else happening here that most people don't know about. Remember that thiamine I mentioned earlier? It's not just sitting in your body doing nothing. Thiamine helps convert carbohydrates into usable energy at the cellular level. Without enough of it, you feel tired, irritable, mentally drained. Even if you're eating enough calories, and here's where it gets really interesting for your mood. Peanuts contain compounds called phenolics. These are natural antioxidants with anti-inflammatory properties. Recent findings suggest they may help reduce symptoms of depression. In fact, one study tracked people who ate peanuts at least 3 times a week. They were 50% less likely to develop depression compared to those who never ate them. Now, I'm not saying peanut butter cures depression, but inflammation in the brain is linked to mood disorders and foods that fight inflammation. They support mental health in ways we're just beginning to understand. If you're still watching, that tells me you care about feeling good, not just physically, but mentally too. And that's exactly the right mindset because what I'm about to share with you next could literally save your life. Heart disease is still the #1 killer in this country. And I'll be honest with you, it scares me how many people don't take it seriously until it's too late. But here's what gives me hope. Simple dietary changes can make a massive difference. And peanut butter, it's one of those changes. Let me break down what's happening inside your arteries. Peanut butter contains an amino acid called arginine. This compound helps relax your blood vessels, which lowers blood pressure and improves blood flow. Better flow means your heart doesn't have to work as hard. There's also tryptophan, another amino acid that reduces inflammation throughout your cardiovascular system. Inflammation is one of the hidden drivers of heart disease. You can't feel it, but it's silently damaging your arteries. And remember that resveratrol we talked about earlier? It does double duty for your heart. It lowers blood pressure and increases circulation to your heart muscle. That means more oxygen, better function, less strain. It's like giving your heart a break after years of working overtime. Then there's vitamin E. This powerful antioxidant prevents something called LDL oxidation. That's when bad cholesterol gets damaged and starts forming plaque inside your arteries. Vitamin E stops that process before it starts. Here's the stat that really grabbed my attention. Researchers at Harvard Medical School found that people who ate peanut butter at least 3 times per week reduced their risk of heart disease by 5%. Now, 5% might not sound huge, but when you're talking about the leading cause of death, every percentage point matters. That could be the difference between a long, healthy life and a sudden heart attack. And it's not just your heart. There's one more area where peanut butter shows real promise, and it's something women especially need to hear. Cancer. Just hearing that word changes everything. And while there's no magic food that prevents cancer completely, there are foods that stack the odds in your favor. Peanut butter is one of them. Research presented at the American Association for Cancer Research followed over 86,000 women for more than a decade. They tracked what these women ate, how often, and what happened to their health over time. The women who ate peanut butter regularly had a 30% lower risk of breast cancer compared to those who didn't eat it at all. Now, why would that be? It comes down to those antioxidants again, especially vitamin E. Vitamin E protects your cells from free radical damage, and when cells stay healthy, they're less likely to mutate into cancer. But it's not just breast cancer. There's evidence for colon cancer protection too. Free radicals attack the lining of your digestive tract constantly. They're produced when your body breaks down food when you're exposed to toxins, even just from normal metabolism. Vitamin E acts like a shield, preventing that damage before it leads to something worse. Are you doing anything right now to protect yourself at the cellular level? Most people aren't. They're waiting for symptoms. But by then, it's often too late. Peanut butter won't replace screenings or medical care, but it's one small, simple thing you can do today that might matter decades from now. Now, before we wrap up, let me give you the practical stuff because knowing this information doesn't help if you don't know how to use it. All right, let's get practical because not all peanut butter is created equal. And if you're buying the wrong kind, you're missing out on most of these benefits. First rule, flip that jar over and read the ingredients. The best peanut butter has 2 things listed: peanuts and maybe a little salt. That's it. No oils, no sugar, no unpronounceable chemicals. If you see hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated anywhere on the label, put it back. Those trans fats will undo everything we just talked about. Natural peanut butter separates. You'll see oil on top. That's normal. Just stir it back in. It means nothing was added to change the texture artificially. Now, how much should you eat? 2 tablespoons is the sweet spot. That's about 190 calories, 16 grams of fat, 7 grams of protein. Enough to give you all those benefits without overdoing it. You can spread it on whole grain toast in the morning. Mix it into oatmeal. Add a spoonful to a smoothie for extra protein and creaminess. Some people even eat it straight off the spoon, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Here's what I tell my patients. Think of peanut butter as a tool in your health toolkit. It's not the only thing you need, but it's one simple addition that does a lot of heavy lifting. And if you've made it this far in the video, that tells me you're serious about taking care of yourself. That's the most important step, showing up and paying attention. So here's what I want you to do next. If this video helped you see peanut butter in a new light, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who need this information. And if you haven't subscribed to Purely Health yet, click that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video. Because here's the thing, your health doesn't change from one video or one jar of peanut butter. It changes from small, consistent choices you make every single day. And I'm here to help you make those choices easier. So grab that jar, check the label, make sure it's the real stuff, and start using it in ways that actually fuel your body instead of just filling your stomach. Your heart will thank you. Your muscles will thank you. Your energy levels will thank you. And 20 years from now, you'll be glad you made these small changes while you still could. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Michael Reed, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay curious, and keep taking care of